Okay. So this problem, in a beauty competition, two judges ranked 12 participants as follows. So here they have not given us the marks of the people. Instead, they have given us the ranks. So if you see the previous problem, they had given us the value of X and Y. We calculated the ranks and then the rank correlation. But in this problem, they have directly given us the ranks. Okay. And then we are asked to find what? Let us see that. What is the degree of agreement between the judgments of two judges? Okay. So there are two judges. What is the degree of agreement? How accurate are their results? We are trying to find out. So firstly, they have given us the ranks. So there only you should get a hint, thinking that, okay, this is Spearman's rank correlation. It is not Karl Pearson's. Why it is not Karl Pearson's? In Karl Pearson's, we don't have rank. Okay. There you will either consider the complete data or you will follow assumed mean or actual mean methods. So here we are considering the ranks. So you should be able to understand it is Spearman's rank correlation. See, in this problem, the ranks are given. Therefore, the correlation between the judgments, we are supposed to calculate the rank correlation coefficient between the judgments of the judges and comment how accurate is the judgment. That is what we are supposed to do. Now let us take all the ranks. Now blindly you should not consider the ranks. Okay, you have to analyze it, thinking how many number of repetitions are there in the ranks that is given to us. Now coming to the tabular calculation, computation of rank correlation coefficient. Now if you copy down the ranks from R1, R2, that is from your question, go through the ranks. 1, let us see how many ranks are there for 10 people. 1, then there is no 2 or there is no 3, but there is 2.5 and 2.5. So let us take 2, 3. Okay. Then the next rank is supposed to be 4. 4 is there. Then 5 is there. 6, 7 is there. 8 is there. 9 is also there. 10, 11, 12. Okay, except that 2 and 3 are repeated, rest all the ranks are there. Now coming to R2 or the second judge ranks given. So here again check similarly. 1 is there, 2 is there, 3 is there, 4 is also there, but 5 is repeated 3 times. See, so 1 can be 5, 6, 7. Okay, so what we have 5 being repeated and here we have 2.5 being repeated. Then five, 6, 7 is done. Then 8 is there, 9 is there, 10 and 11 is not there. Okay, 9 is there, right? We have 12 ranks totally. So we don't have 10 as well as 11. So I can consider one as 10 and one as 11. And then we have 12. So in short, it means number 5 is repeated 3 times. 10.5 is repeated 2 times. And here 2.5 is repeated 2 times. All that matters for us is number of times it is repeated and how many numbers are repeated. So if you see 2.5 is repeated, 10.5 is repeated and 5 is repeated. So 3 numbers are repeated where 2.5 is repeated twice, 10.5 is repeated thrice and 5 is repeated twice. Okay. Now after this find the difference in the ranks, that is D is equal to R2 minus R1. Okay, R2 minus R1, and then, sorry, it is R1 minus R2, right? It's not R2 minus R1. So it is R1 minus R2, and then find the D square. Now, once you get the value, what is the most important value in whole of these calculations? It will be summation D square is equal to 340.5. So this is going to be the very, very important number. Now let us go to the formula and apply this. Now if you see here, see, you can give a sentence like this so that you're giving them clarity. So here 2.5 is repeated 2 times, rank 5 is repeated 3 times, and rank 10.5 is repeated 2 times. So we have 3 numbers which are being repeated. Now let us write the formula. R is equal to, capital R is equal to 1 minus 6 sigma D square plus 1 by 12 into m cube minus m plus 1 by 12 into m cube minus m plus 1 by 12 into m cube minus m. Since we have 3 numbers, okay, 2.5, 5 and 10.5. So that is why we are taking 3 formulas. Okay, whole divided by n cube minus n. So what is the total number of data? Total number of data is 12. So if you go back and check here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12 number of data. So capital R is equal to 1 minus 6 into sigma D square is 340.5 plus 1 by 12 into, so firstly you can take any number. Okay, you can first give 2.5 which is repeated 2 times, then you can give 10.5 which is repeated 3 times, and then which is the other number, sorry, 10.5 is 2 times again, and then which is the other number, 5 is repeated 3 times. Okay, here what they have done is, first they have taken the value for 2.5 which is repeated 2 times. Okay, you have to see this m value is what you are supposed to consider. Okay, so here since it is 2 times, so value of m is going to be 2. Then again they have taken 5 which is 3 times, and then lastly they have taken 10.5 which is for 2 times, and then n is equal to 12. So 12 cube minus 12. Now if you simplify this, okay, first don't multiply 6 here. First do the simplification for all of these values and then come back to this 6 at the end. Okay, so here first find out the cube values, 8 minus 2, 27 minus 3, and 8 minus 2 once again. So you get the values here as 0.5, 2 and 0.5. Okay, and the final R value is going to be minus 0.2010. Did you all get the same answer? Minus 0.2010. Yes? Good. Now, since it is minus, it is negative agreement or negative correlation. But where does this come on the timeline? That is very important. It's on the minus, and it is less than minus 0.25. So if you see here, it is minus 0.20. So it is less than minus 0.25. So it is on the lower side of the negative agreement. So it is low degree negative agreement between judges, or you can write as low degree correlation, negative correlation between the judges. That also will be the right answer. Okay, you can write it as like this also, low degree negative agreement, or you can say it as there is low degree negative correlation between judge A and B. That is also a correct conclusion. But what is important is to write the conclusion. Without writing conclusion, do not end your answer, and don't say me later that you forgot to write the conclusion. Conclusion also contains marks in the examination, because correlation regression is more of analysis rather than solving the problems. So that analysis, you will have to understand it very clearly and in depth. Clear? Any doubts in this problem? Everybody understood? Come on, quickly reply. Okay. Now let us go to the next problem. Now in this problem also, this is a very similar problem to the previous one, but here instead of 2, you have got 3 judges. Let us go through this problem. 10 companies, 10 competitors in a beauty contest were ranked by 3 judges. So Judge A, Judge B and Judge C. So there we had only Judge A and B in the previous problem. Here it is 3 of them. And they have given the ranks. And how many competitors are there? 10 competitors. Which pair of judge has the nearest approach to common tastes in beauty? So they're asking, read the question again. Which pair of judge? Pair means 2 of them. Okay. It can be AB, it can be BC, it can be CA. Any combination can come up. So which pair of judge has the nearest approach to the common taste in beauty? So firstly, we have to find out the correlation coefficient. Then we will be able to analyze on the basis of that whoever has the common taste of beauty. Okay, so this is the question. Now let us go to the computation, and if you see, it is R1, R2, R3 as usual given to us. Okay, now these are the ranks given by 3 judges, R1, R2 and R3. And we have copied down the ranks from the question as it is. Here again, please check the ranks once again. Check how many are repeated and how many are directly given. Okay, so if you see the first one, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there is no 7, but 8 is repeated 3 times. So what we will do, we will put a different shape. Let us put a box to, small box to 8. So here if you see, 8 is repeated 3 times. Okay, after that, which means after 6, 7, 8, 9 if I take, then 10 is available. So 8 is repeated 3 times here. Did you all understand the first part, R1? Understood how to check the ranks? Next, R2. Now for R2, again do the same exercise. Start with 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5 and 6 are not available, but 5 and 6 are given here as, okay, I'm just drawing some random shape for us to understand. Okay, so 5.5 is repeated, which means 4 is done, 5 and 6 are covered here. Then 7, then we have 8.5 repeated twice. Okay, so 8.5 and 8.5. So this will be 8 and 9, and then we have 10. So in the first R1 rank Judge A, 8 is repeated 3 times. In R2, that is Judge B, 5.5 is repeated 2 times and 8.5 is repeated 2 times. Now let us check the same thing for the last judge. Okay, if you see here, there is no 1 at all, but then 2 is repeated 3 times. Correct? So 2 is repeated 3 times means 1. Oops, sorry. 1, 2, 3. Okay, all of them are here only. 1, 2, 3. All the 3 are there. So that is why it is given. Then 4 is also not available, but then we have 5. But 5 is repeated 3 times again. I'll choose a different color here. So 5 is repeated, 1, 2, 3. So what you can think is, if you take this as 1, 2 and 3, we don't have 4, 5, 6 also. So we'll just assume 4, 5, 6, because if you take the average, you'll get 5. Then 7 is there. 8, 9, 10 is not available, but we have 9 which is being repeated. I shall choose another color. So we have, what is the other shape left out? Okay, I'll put a rhombus. 9 is the other number. So how many numbers are repeated now? You have 8 being repeated here, and you have 5.5 and 8.5 repeated, and then you have 2, 5, 9 being repeated here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 repetitions are there in this problem. Don't get scared. We are not going to solve for 6 at a time, because they have asked us to find out the pair of judges. So pair of judges means we will have judge A and B one time, and then B and C the other time, and then C and A we have to calculate the other time. Okay. So all the table calculations can be done here only. You need not do it again. So what is the first thing that you will have to find is the difference in the ranks. So here if you see for A and B, that is R1 minus R2. So R1 minus R2. If you subtract these two, you will be getting all of these values here. So that will be your D1. And then when you square the D1, you will get D1 square to be 41. Okay, are you all able to follow? Are you all understanding it? Yes or no? Okay. So that is for your D1. Now moving on to the next combination, that will be B and C. So B and C means judge B is given rank 2 and judge C is given rank 3. So R2 minus R3. So this will be the next part. So R2 minus R3 is given. Then find out the difference and square them. They have missed out that square part there above. So D square 3. Fine. So that is what is required. Then coming to the last combination, that is judge C. That is R3 and R1. Okay. So if you see here, they have taken it as R3 minus R1, because it is C first and then A. So C is R3 and A is R1. So this is going to be R3 minus R1. Now once you find R3 minus R1, you will also have to find the square for it, and you will get the answer of 218. Here the answer is 193. So once you find these values, now let us go to the formula. This question can be asked for 14 marks. The question is very simple, but there are more calculations involved in this question. Okay, so let us move on and solve the formula. Now before going to formula, any doubts in the table? Go through the table once again. Check if you have any doubts. Understood? Good. Okay. Now let us go to the formula. Now, with respect to judges A and B, rank 8 is repeated 3 times, and rank 5.5 is repeated 2 times, and rank 8.5 is repeated 2 times. Okay, so there are 3 ranks. How did they get all this information? They're talking about this. So, judge A is where 8 is repeated 3 times. Okay, and for judge B, 5.5 is repeated 2 times, 8.5 is repeated 2 times. So here 3, 2 and 2. Okay, so based on that, we have to write the formula. So firstly, rank for judge A and B, rank correlation. So RAB is equal to 1 minus 6 sigma d square plus 1 by 12 m cube minus m, again plus 1 by 12 n cube minus m plus 1 by 12 n cube minus m. Why have we written it 3 times? Because we have 3 repeated ranks. Okay, now apply the values. So 1 minus sigma d square. Now what is the sigma d square? Now that is the major thing you have to understand. So here first is A and next is B, correct? So sorry. So what is d1 square? D1 square? It is 41. So consider this for A and B. Now if you see here D also, A and B we are comparing and we are getting the answer. So that is why D1 square is considered. So D1 square is 41 plus we have 8 repeated 3 times. We have 5.5 repeated 2 times and 8.5 repeated 2 times. And then the total number of data that we have in the problem is n is equal to 10. We have 10 data that is given to us. There are 10 computators in the computation. Okay, now start simplifying this. First find the cube here and then subtract the values after finding the cube. Now once you do that, then do the multiplication with 1 by 12. Okay, you will usually it will get cancelled. 12 ones are 12 twos are, then 6 ones are 6 twos are, 1 by 2 is 0.5, same thing again 0.5. Okay, so here once you get these values, add all of them which is there inside, and then when you simplify, you get the value of RAB, which is 1 minus 0.026666. So your rank correlation between the first two judge is given here, 0.17334. Okay, now don't write conclusion immediately here. Let us solve for the other two judges. Later we will compare all of them and we will write the conclusion. So that was your first pair of judge, that is A and B. Okay, now going on to the next pair of judge, that will be B and C. Now let us go back to the problem and check how many repetitions are there for judge B and judge C. So if you see, take judge B, we have 5.5 repeated 2 times, 8.5 repeated 2 times, and then for judge C, we have 9 repeated 3 times, 5 repeated 3 times, and 2 repeated 3 times. So what are the number of repetitions? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there are 5 repetitions which you can see. Now in this case, you have to solve for all the 5. Okay, so sigma d square here would be 193. This will be the sigma d square, and then 1 by 12 into for judge C it is all 3 sorry, for judge C it's all 3 times, and then for judge B it is 2 times. So 2 2 and then 3 3 3. Okay, so that is what is given. Now when you simplify, you get minus value here for the second combination. So first combination you have got positive value, for the second combination you have got negative value. Any doubts still here? You'll have to be very careful while solving such problems, because if you get confused anywhere, if you go wrong, the whole problem, you will get confused. You will not be able to, complete it, because it's a 15 marks question and the paper will be lengthy. You have to be quick also. Okay, so that is your second pair. Okay, now going on to the next pair and the last pair, that is C and A. Now let us go back to the question again and check how many repetitions for C and A. For C, we have 3 repetitions, 9 3 times, 5 3 times, and 2 3 times. Okay, when it comes to A, we have 8 being repeated 3 times. So how many repetitions? Here we have 3 repetitions, that is 9, 5, and 2. And then for A, we have 1 repetition. So totally 4 repeated numbers are there. So let us solve for 4 repeated numbers. So all the numbers are repeated 3 times. So we will be taking 3 cube, 3 cube, 3 cube, 3 cube, all the 4 times. Okay. Then once you solve them, simplify them, the data, the n value will be 10 throughout for all of the solving or all of the equation part here. Okay, and then the final value that you get for this combination of judges is again minus correlation. Okay, now let us see which all what is the value of all the 3 judges. Now if you take rank of A and B, what was the rank of A and B? 0.7334. So you have 0.7334. Next, rank of B and C is nothing but minus 0.2121. Minus 0.2121. Then rank of CA is minus 0.36996. Now since this A and B is a positive correlation and that is the highest number out of the 3. Okay, out of the 3, that is the highest number and that is the maximum value. So the pair of judge A and B has the nearest approach to taste in beauty. Okay, so this is how you compare when they give you 3 or more values here. Okay, here the highest value will be considered. First, find out all the values for AB, BC, and CA and then give the conclusion. Any doubts? Did you all understand this problem? It is an easy problem if you remember the formula. Formula is also easy to remember. 1 minus 6 sigma d square plus 1 by 12 into m cube minus m whole divided by n cube minus n. That 1 divided by 12 m cube minus m can be repeated with the repeating ranks. How many times the ranks are repeated? So many times it will get repeated. Clear? Okay. Now that completes our rank correlation coefficient. Let us know or let us understand few of the advantages and disadvantages of this rank correlation. Now, firstly, we will learn about the advantages. It is easy to calculate and understand compared to Pearson's correlation. Is that true or not? Which you find it easier? Carl Pearson's correlation is you will have more equations, more formulas, more calculation in the table is supposed to be done. So when compared to that, whenever they give you ranks, it is even more easier for you to just solve the problem and put them into the equation. And here you don't have too many scenarios and too many formulas to be remembered. So it is easy to calculate and understand. Then when ranks based on characteristics are given, it is the only method to be used to calculate correlation coefficient. So this rank correlation is basically framed it is basically framed to solve the characteristics data. Something like we got the question of fashion show, where how do you judge a person, how do you rank a person, okay. So these are something which is qualitative in nature, they're not quantified. Okay, you cannot quantify the beauty. Fine. So they're, since they're qualifiable, it's in the qualitative form, where you cannot explain it too much, then in that case, rank correlation method is the best. Then when the data are of qualitative like honesty, efficiency, beauty, this is used. Okay, and this is the only method that is available as of now to use when characteristics are given. So if I say I am rating the class on the basis of the honesty, okay, whom do I think is more honest and whom do I think is not at all honest, I can grade the class. So that is the qualitative nature of the data. So that can also be solved by using rank correlation. Then demerits of rank correlation. This method cannot be employed for group data. So if I get a very sophisticated data and a large data, I cannot apply these rank correlation. It's not possible. Okay, this method is not useful if the large quantities are to be ranked. So if I have some 1,000 people and I have to rank all the 1,000 people, then it is not advised to use rank correlation, because you cannot sit and rank all the 1,000 people even randomly. Okay, what will happen there is you cannot do your work completely, nor you'll be able to get the answer. So those are the demerits of rank correlation. So we have finished the correlation part of the syllabus. Regression is very small to be understood. So before I go to regression, go back, check the classwork. Any doubts in any part of the chapter until here, you can ask. Okay, you'll be given 2 minutes. Please go through the book, go through the notes, whatever I've sent to you until now. Okay, any question you want me to repeat or any theory part you did not understand, please say quickly. A very, very important chapter. If you see the question paper, maximum marks is asked from this chapter again. Any doubts? Understood? Great. So that will be your correlation. I will send you a few more problems to practice. Practice as many problems as you can for this correlation. Okay. Now let us just see the introduction of regression, and we shall start the problems in the next class. Okay. Now regression. These are usually learnt together, correlation and regression, because they are somewhere interconnected. Okay. So when it is known that two variables are closely related or correlated, the estimation of one variable given the value of other variable can be made, right? So if we know one variable, we can find the other variable. The statistical tool with the help of which we are in position to estimate the unknown value of one variable from the known value of other variable is called as regression. So this is the meaning of the regression. So regression is a statistical tool that will help us to understand or estimate the unknown position by keeping the values of the known position. Okay, so that is known as regression. Now, what is the dictionary meaning? Regression means an act of returning back or stepping back. So it is like I give it back to you. Okay, that is regression. In statistics, what does it mean? So we saw what is the dictionary meaning. Let us see what is in statistics. Regression is used to estimate the probable trend in a related variable when the value of other related variable is given, taking into account the past trend. So seeing the past data, we will try to find out the future results, or we will try to estimate the next year sales, like how we did in time series. Time series are all extended part of correlation and regression. Okay, so we will have the past data given and we will try to estimate the next year